Hey everyone, Gabe Cuello here with the new vlog and some exciting news of starting my new series called Tech Combat, inspired by the use of technology for my own personal development as well as just being a Mortal Kombat fan. Specifically for these upcoming series, we're going to be doing Tech Combat on smartwatches. Basically, these are like hands-on reviews on a highly specific population, such as strength athletes, whether that be CrossFit, bodybuilding, powerlifting, strongman, high-intensity interval training type workouts, or those who participate in boot camp type classes. This is the population I'm referring to in terms of strength sports. Personally, as a mental strength and conditioning coach, as well as a strength athlete, I like to track everything that I do in terms of steps, calories being burned, on a daily basis, whether I'm active or inactive, the workouts that I do, not exactly the rep ranges or, sets. I don't care so much for that because I do that on my own programming, but it's more about the effort, my heart rate, the stress levels, the workloads, things like that I like to capture with my device. And it really does help me kind of monitor if I'm doing too much, if I'm burning too little in calories, or my heart rate, my effort, and things like that are things that I kind of find appealing with using a smartwatch. Additionally, I kind of find myself to be pretty anal with the choices that I make, specifically because, I put out the best that I can, therefore I kind of want the same in return. So if I get a device or I'm going to select a device, I want it to be very specific to my needs, and therefore if I find it to be very comfortable for myself, I feel pretty confident and competent in sharing that information with my clients or the people that I work with, in case we have a diet program or a training program that they can kind of find compatible with the device as well as the programming that I suggest for them. And now, the contestants.
Tier 1, Trainee. Fitbit, Apple, Huawei, TechWatch, Garmin, Samsung.
Pretty badass contestants, right? Alright, so just to be clear, again, the watches that I've selected are specifically geared towards those in the fitness realm. So anything outside of that, I just felt like I already knew for myself. Was it going to be beneficial and might even be a waste of time to review? But these 6 are along the lines, and from what I've read and researched, are the top level fitness smartwatches. And finally, to objectively determine who the winner for each combat is, we will be basing it off of 10 key areas. These 10 areas include price. Does it offer what it demands? Aesthetics. Does it look good? Is it stylish? Is it made of good quality and durability? This is also including the charging unit. Comfort. Is it comfortable during activity and non-activity, basically for daily use? Key smartwatch features. Obviously, does it include phone calls to make and take? Does it give notifications in several apps? Does it provide music storage, GPS, touchscreen, microphone, speakers, waterproof, and a pay option? Things like that would fall into key smartwatch features. Is it user-friendly? Is it easy to set up, easy to use? Can you use Bluetooth connectivity with other heart rate sensors as an option? Things like that. Always on feature. Does it provide an always on feature? Battery life. Does it offer a battery life that lasts more than 2 days? If so, that's a plus, because it seems like an average is just 2 days. The charge speed, that's also important. Can it charge in less than an hour? The shorter the time period, obviously the better. App software. Is it easy to use? Does it provide detailed information? And is it device friendly? Customization and personalization. One of my favorite ones actually is this in particular importance, because having some personalizing features to your device kind of gives you a little bit more attachment to it. So does it provide apps, watch face, widgets, customization of your workouts, display changes, as well as color and font, so on. Finally is accuracy. Does it give you an accurate reading of your heart rate, calories, steps, distance, stress, performance, and things like that. Again, just to be clear, these are not in any order and are all interrelated, basically giving a balanced perspective. And now, let Tech Combat begin. Samsung has been out for a while now, especially when it comes to cellular devices. They are known for having some really good, beautiful, and clear image quality. The Gear Sport was released in October 27th of last year, or 2017. This smartwatch's main features include receiving phone calls, notifications from most apps, replying to text messages, the S Voice feature, having a high-resolution touchscreen as well as a bezel rotation for widgets, and 2 buttons on the side. It also has, as far as an app, the Samsung Health app. This device is also waterproof watch, which is 50 meters in depth. The weight, at least what I figured, was 64 grams, and truthfully, it kind of matters because if you're exercising or working out, you don't want something a little too heavy. The price is going right now on Amazon for $249. The colors that it offers is black and blue, as well as potential switchable bands. Garmin. Garmin is highly reputable when it comes to the GPS tracking and mapping systems, and it's commonly used by most runners, cyclists, or triathlon type athletes. Garmin's Vivoactive3 was released sometime in fall of 2017. This device receives calls, however you can't pick up phone calls. You can receive notifications and do some really prompt responses. It does have the ability to download apps, either from their own brand or third-party apps, as well as widgets to help increase customization. Garmin Connect as your app, plays Google Music off the watch, touchscreen plus 1 button, and a tickle swipe feature. This watch is also waterproof of 50 meters depth, and it weighs 43.5 grams. The price is $299 off of Amazon as of today, and for this in particular watch, it is gunmetal, so that's why the price is a little higher. If you were to get the standard silver and black, that's $249. If you get the white and silver, that's also $249. I think I just covered the colors there as well. It does have the ability to switch bands, so that's also a plus. And now the hands-on review. This hands-on review will be around strength training, low-intensity steady-state cardio, as well as high-intensity interval training. First up is the Gear Sport. As I go over my own personal experiences using the device in my workouts, I'm also going to be going over the 10 criterias for an ideal smartwatch. At this time, I'm pretty much scrolling through to figure out which is going to be more appropriate for my workout. It did not have what I was looking for, so I figured, just start of the workout would be ideal. What I wish it did have was just something for you to kind of like customize it, to name it the way you want it and to kind of go over exactly what you're working on. But it didn't have that feature, so that was somewhat disappointing. But either way, I felt like, okay, there's other areas I could just use this to track my workout and my heart rate. Here with doing deadlifts, I know myself, my heart rate usually shoots up to 120, sometimes like 130 if it's super heavy. But in this case, it's not that heavy, and this seems to be a little accurate. However, there are times where it did not track my heart rate, and that would be very frustrating. And then additionally, it would also shoot up so high, which made no sense at all. So here in this exercise, it's just me going up and down. So there should be a little challenge, or at least expression of heart rate, differences. But again, I didn't really track it accurately as I looked on the app, and it was a little frustrating in terms of applying this device for strength sports. As far as the low intensity steady state cardio, I gotta say that it was pretty much a hit or miss. Having to interact with the device just to see where my heart rate was, even though I had the always on feature, was kind of annoying. So even 11 minutes in to know that my heart rate was not being tracked is like, what the hell? I need to monitor how many calories I was burning. So it didn't come through there. In terms of high intensity interval training, it was even worse because I need to know where I'm at so that way I could push harder. And again, it was really frustrating to know that it didn't come through. So definitely not a good thing for this workout. So here I have the always on feature, and sometimes it just shuts off completely, and to turn it back on is you really have to, it defeats the purpose. You got to engage with the watch to wake it up, and for me that's like a bummer because an always on feature kind of reminds me of just having a regular watch. I don't really want to have like a whole cell phone on my wrist because again, I'm working out. For the most part, it's distracting. Now, for the general population, I guess it's okay. But for me and my specific needs, as I mentioned earlier, I don't want to be distracted when I work out, and that means not having to engage with the device too much. So in terms of battery life, this thing lasts me about a day and a half of constant use. And again, with having the always on feature, kind of drains it a little faster. But the charge time takes about 3 hours, and the charging dock looks really nice. I got to give it credit to Samsung for that. It's wireless, but there's a con. It's not like a USB port that you can connect to your your device to the computer, because then you can't upload music on it, and that means you have to download their apps to install music. And again, for me, I would wish that this is like an external hard drive type a thing where you could put your own music to. However, you can, I think, connect it to your phone. Now, speaking of connection, there's also another bummer for me, and that's that you cannot attach this device with any other heart rate sensor. So because this one kind of gives me fluctuating numbers, having an external heart rate would definitely give me a benefit of tracking accuracy in the type of work that I do. So overall, I mean, just getting to the, it has that S voice feature that I don't care for at all. But it overall, I kind of want to say it's a nice watch. It looks really pretty. It gives you several options for face watches. There are apps you can download and to kind of get customizable and stuff, but there aren't any widgets that you can add onto here like downloading. So like an Android type of phone where you can just put random widgets. That's definitely a con for me. But overall, it's a nice watch, and maybe in the future it'll come out with something better. But for right now, I definitely don't think I'm going to be using this type of watch for workouts. But that's just my point for now. Next up is the Vivoactive3. I gotta say right off the bat, I really like this device. It's so simple and light, appealing. The quality just feels great, but the screen and the resolution just, in all fairness, it sucks. And I think they know that too. But the fact of user friendliness in terms of just pressing a button, looking for your strength app, and just getting to work, I love that. I think that's exactly what I'm looking for. Something simple and, to the point. However, I'm not going to just jump right off the bat and say, I love this watch, this is it. I got to be fair and compare it with other devices, because even so with this device, my heart rate doesn't really show some accurate readings. Right after the set, for example, I just did 3 sets of heavy squats, and it shows, I'm at 57 or 56. Giving it some time, it's going to eventually increase, and I think that's the problem. Like it's like slow to read. But what I really like about this device is, in a sense, yeah, steady state cardio, it's been proven already to be effective. However, what's cool is you can add another device, another external heart rate sensor to make it more accurate. So definitely a plus here for Garmin to allow some Bluetooth connections for other heart rate sensors. In both low intensity steady state and high intensity interval training, my heart rate seemed to be fluctuating, but it was kind of within a certain range. But again, having the device or a heart rate sensor was really cool to give me the most accurate reading, and truthfully, I'm totally okay with that. So definitely a plus in that regard. So like I said already, the always on feature is on point. I think it's freaking phenomenal how well it does for being always on. And then to know that there's like an option to do a tickle feature here on the side, I just gotta put a lot more pressure to actually get it working. But it really does a phenomenal job to scroll through your widgets, which again, tying in earlier, it does allow you to have downloadable widgets. The charging time, man, this is probably where I dig it a lot. It's only like 30 to 40 minutes to fully charge this device. Now, of course, the charging unit doesn't look all that pretty, but it's super easy and flexible to take around with you in any of your circumstances. User friendly, again, it's so basic, it's so simple to the point.
The only challenge I'm kind of thinking of is now, is it worth the price? But other than that, it's really good. In terms of battery life, this thing could last me about 4 to 5 days straight of constant use, and then no worries after that for charging it. So overall, I think that's really cool. Additionally, what makes this thing so awesome is the fact that you can attach it with another heart rate monitor or a Bluetooth device. And finally, for the app, Garmin Connect is actually not that bad. It really shows you a lot of details and cool features. However, to update the device, you kind of need to use the computer's app for that, which I'm not crazy to have 2 different apps, but it does give you the opportunity to change and create workouts for whatever it is that you have in mind, or interval settings and things like that. But there is still needing to be a lot of improvement for both apps. So there's my take on that.
And the winner is Garmin Vivoactive3.
Flawless
Yep,
victory.
that's right. Although I'll be honest and say I'm not that thrilled with the device, I got to admit that it came pretty close in meeting my expectations. In fact, it's a well-balanced device. As I've mentioned, already in the video, I kind of noticed some areas that need improvement, and I brought it to Garmin's attention, and believe it or not, they were very supportive with my feedback. So it seems to me that in the future devices, specifically this year, I'm pretty confident that we're going to be seeing some really cool stuff. So definitely stay tuned for that. And that's it, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and please let me know who you think should have won in the comment section below. I will see all of you in the next video. Peace.